Well, as Ariana Grande is on the press junket for Wicked, fans are beginning to express worry about her health. They're taking notice of some dramatic weight loss and her very thin appearance. But some people also claim she always looked like that, and she is actually in the best shape of her life, couldn't be better. This is the picture of health. And I don't know which camp I would fall into. I guess neither. I don't think she looks great. But I also don't know this woman, so how am I supposed to know whether she is sick with anything? An eating disorder. Some people say they're comparing this to Chadwick Boseman's deteriorating health with cancer diagnosis. You don't really know unless you know the person, but she is in the public eye nearly on a constant basis, and this is up for discussion, naturally. Thank you.
Tonal issues.
Every time. Every damn time.
I'm not cutting it out later either. I'm leaving it there.
That's fine. This is what we're best at.
Tonal issues, guys.
And it's not just Ariana Grande, it's also her co-star Cynthia Erivo. They're pointing out dramatic weight loss on her part as well.
So here was a before photo.
This is what they looked like before production for Wicked, and you can see what they look like now, a month into press for the movie. So that's worrying, right?
Yes, it is.
Am I just imagining things?
No,
is this some
no.
kind of optical illusion?
No, I thought Eugenia Cooney at first. The shoulders, the arms are very, very, very thin. She does not look healthy.
But here's the thing, though. I've pointed this out to you before, off air, and you were like, no, she looks exactly the same. She looks
This
fine.
is not the same photo. Like, this is not the photo I was looking at. Like, when I saw this one in particular, I was shocked.
This one is from a recent red carpet event where they're doing all of these premiere events for
No,
the
she
movie.
does not look healthy. This is not the photo I was looking at before.
Yeah, and then I saw a set photo where Ariana Grande's in costume and she's eating her lunch for the day. It is literally just a Tupperware with sliced cucumbers in it. Yeah. And she's in the middle of taking a bite of a sliced cucumber, and that's what she considers to be lunch.
I saw Keemstar mention, goes, look, people gain and lose weight all the time for movie roles. Yeah. And that is 110% true, and that could be what's going on here, I suppose, but it doesn't mean that you can't have the discussion about whether something is going on.
But people are getting really offended by those who are bringing it up.
Yeah.
Like, people are getting offended that you shouldn't even say anything. You shouldn't even speak on it. They're saying that's wrong. Like, leave her alone. Like, leave Ariana Grande alone.
People said the same thing about Chadwick Boseman when he posted that video in 2020. Was it in 2020? And people said people lose and gain weight all the time for roles, but he didn't look like he was losing weight for a role. He didn't look well.
But if he were losing weight for a role, that's what it would look like, though. So you never know. But these people are in show business, and the nature of that industry is you're in a visual medium, nearly constantly having people watching you. So yeah, any weight that you gain or lose is going to be noticed by your fans. And I don't think it's wrong to point it out. People are getting so offended about it. It's weird that they're trying to draw attention away from it on purpose. Like, you're not allowed to say anything. She's a public figure, this comes with the territory.
Also, they get mad when you say it when they're overweight. You can also mention it when they look underweight. It's a matter of public interest. That's the nature of being a celebrity. You don't just get to be talked about when you're doing things right. You're going to be the subject of many things, of many forms of interest from people, and it's not always going to be positive. And in this case, I don't think it's wrong to at least ask the question, is something going on? Not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to judge her in any way, shape, or form. Goodness knows the pressures that are on somebody with that much star power. A movie like that, a career like that has got to be immense, but I don't think that anybody's wrong for asking the question.
We got a 20 from Carnell. Cynthia and Ariana both are open about abstain minutes from eating animal products. There, I saved everyone a Google search.
Okay, so
minutes?
If they're vegetarians or they're vegans, I guess that makes sense. But if she's been a vegan for a long time, that doesn't explain the recent weight loss.
Well, Ariana Grande has been vegan for basically her entire career up to this point. But and it's true, she has always been on the smaller side. Like, she's always been basically pretty skinny. And people have said things about it before, but it was never to this extreme. People do see a marked difference, but also she's changed other things about her appearance. Her hair color, she doesn't fake tan anymore. She's dressing in these more, I would say, girlish outfits, less mature looking. That's for her role as well. She deleted everything about her own personality to engulf herself in this role, which I think is admirable. For your dedication to the role, but it's turned into something a little bit twisted.
I will tell you what the feminists would end up saying is they would say that if a man was doing this, he would be praised for it.
Oh, like Christian Bale?
Yes.
Well, I mean, what Christian Bale did, though, for that role when he lost all that weight, he actually got addicted to it. He developed an eating disorder. After he no longer needed to have that physique, he did actually develop a compulsion
and a lot of actors tell you now that you shouldn't be doing that, and it's not. Robert John Burke did the same thing, that you shouldn't be doing that and that it's not healthy for you. So I mean, but like, people say the same thing about the actors who, you know, they got a Marvel movie coming up and they got to put on some muscle quick, and then suddenly you're twice normal size in just a couple of months.
Yeah, but even that is less risky than what we're talking about. I also saw some people pointing out that Ariana Grande has a responsibility to her young female fan base to portray an image that promotes health and safety.
Does she have that responsibility?
I don't know. This one TikToker named Chloe Ferrero explained it in her own words, and I think we should take a look at that video.
I'll never be of the opinion that the actor owes you anything.
No, I don't think she would owe anyone anything. It would just be nice if she felt that way.
Okay, here we go.
I know that the Arianators are probably already choosing what weapon they're going to use to assassinate me, but you could not pay me to say that Ariana Grande looks healthy, because she does not. She looks sick, she looks emaciated, and for a 32-year-old woman, she is strikingly thin. I want to approach this subject with sympathy because I understand that Ariana Grande is in the limelight, and that comes with so much pressure. She is one of the most famous people in the world, and I'm sure that that is a struggle for her in ways that I can't understand. But because she's in the limelight, we have no choice but to acknowledge that she is a role model, and she does set an example for a lot of people, especially young people, young girls specifically. Her fan base is a ton of young girls, a ton of young women. And because of that, as much as I don't like commenting on the appearance of women as someone who has gone through that themselves, it's important to acknowledge that other people are going to look up to her. Little girls might walk through Target, see the doll of Ariana Grande, and think, I should look like that. They might see the billboard on the highway of her looking strikingly thin and think, I should look like that. To claim that she's the healthiest she's ever been, to claim that she's at peak performance, for her to go on an interview and defend herself, which she has every right to do, but to say that people that are calling her out are crazy and they're obsessed and they're conspiracy theorists, you know, I don't know exactly what she said, but that's what Twitter was basically saying that she was saying. All of that sums up into a narrative that teaches people that that body is attainable and beneficial, that you can do it too, and there's no problem with it.
So what do you think of her point of view? Does Ariana Grande have some sort of responsibility to the girls who idolize her?
No, I don't think so. I think the parents have a responsibility to take care of their kids and talk to them about these things, you know.
Is it so wrong to say both are true? I mean, I think that both are true.
I just never seem to fall into this camp where I believe that, because people will make endless requests of you then.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think most importantly, who you owe something to is yourself.
She owes it to
herself to be in good health.
Yeah,
she owes it to her family members to be in good health and have longevity. She owes it to the people who employ her as well. to be in good health and be able to perform and do her job correctly.
Do I need to lose weight because it's the right thing to do for people who watch this show so that I can be thinner, so
Be a
that
good role
so I can
model.
be a good role model? No. If you're looking to me for some type of health advice, you've screwed up far more than I have any ability to help you with.
Some people are also claiming that stress is what prompted Ariana Grande's weight loss, whether or not it's intentional on her part. This is a timeline that a fan put together. 2017, a terrorist attack happened on Ariana and her fans in Manchester. In 2018, Mac Miller died. And at the same time, she also had a brief engagement that was extremely publicized to Pete Davidson that was then broken off.
I mean, Pete Davidson will cause stress in anyone's life.
He
That's
seems
true.
like a nightmare to
That's
be
true.
around. Yeah, then they said that she cut off all of her friends, got engaged again, got married for real this time, then got divorced in 2023, and a hate train followed because she ended up in a relationship with a man who was married
Okay,
and had a newborn child.
There's a better question for you right there. So she's responsible to you as a role model by being the right weight, but not by making the right choices about her marriage or her personal life.
I see so much more hate directed toward Ariana Grande about how she looks than the way that she acts. And the way that she acts is reprehensible. The way that she is basically a homewrecker is not being pointed out. But her clavicle is showing.
Like, I don't think that either of those are her. I don't think that her poor choices in her personal life or her weight are a sign that she's somehow less of a role model for young fans, because it's not her job, at least in my personal opinion. That's the parent's job to instill good role models on their children, right? She's never going to be able to answer for everything. And the choices in her personal life seem to be just as glaring.
Oh, yeah, she clearly doesn't care about being a role model. We knew that already, based on the fact that she is a homewrecker.
There's a 20 there.
Pete Donovan said, pray that Ariana's health doesn't follow the same trajectory as Karen Carpenter. What happened to her the final several years of her short life is not for the faint of heart. Are you familiar with this story?
No.
I have not
Eugenia
heard of that.
Cooney, who's very, very well known now and very, very, basically an anorexia influencer.
Right, and she's just never been deplatformed, and she's kind of allowed to continue spinning her wheels and using social media validation to fuel her addiction.
But again, at the same time, I think that it's incumbent upon the parents and the people watching them to make informed decisions for themselves. And I always wonder how far does it go, right? How much influence do we assume that we have to put off on another person before we take responsibility for our choices?
And also, people have remarked on the way that Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are crying in all of these interviews. And it is really weird. I've never seen anything like it on a press tour for a movie. But someone pointed out it might be related to this rumored eating disorder. They said, the shit your brain does when you're starving is so crazy. When I was anorexic, I couldn't look at my driver's license because I would start crying about how beautiful the concept of organ donation was.
Yeah, it's
Clearly can make you mentally unstable.
It's true that, like, for instance, when you go through when you come back from drug withdrawal, your body is changing and fluctuating again, and you start having like massive emotional spikes because you've been numbing your body for so long that it's like reacclimating to experiencing stimuli again. So you'll have massive emotional reactions to things that would never cause such a thing before. So again, I have a lot of sympathy for her, and even some empathy, given that I've gone through similar things, obviously not for the same reasons, but those types of emotional spikes like that. I just worry that people will put it off on the celebrity to be a good role model for their kids so they don't have to be. And that also at the same time, it is not against the rules or against the law to have opinions on these things, because it is both your job as a parent to parent your children and show them good role models. It is also your job as a celebrity to understand that in the public eye, you don't get to decide how conversations around you go. So everybody, take more responsibility for your own actions.
And stop tone policing. And as it relates to the emotional outbursts they've been showing in these interviews, it's either that explanation or, the stress they're under. Or what I think is more likely than either of those two is that they're dramatic theater kids. And what they're trying to do in these interviews is really play up a fake chemistry between the co-stars that doesn't actually exist, just so they can use that fake friendship to sell the movie.
Yeah.
That's how it seems to me.
That's the worst type of Hollywood thing to me.
We're like sisters now.
There's nothing I hate more than fake friendship in Hollywood.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.